Well, I have two images that stuck with me last night. One during the game and one after the game. So I want to get into the images I saw last night because we can all go to the box score and we can all have our opinions and we can listen to the soundbite. But I am a believer in trusting your eyes. I think sports fans all the time know the truth, but we let our brains get in the way and our hearts get in the way. Trust your eyes. Your eyes, sports fans' eyes are almost always right. And then we let stuff get in the way of it. So I'm going to trust my eyes, and I may be totally wrong on this, but this is what I have seen through two games of the series. I didn't just see it last night. I saw it in game one. You ever watch? Let's start about the image I saw after the game. Now, generally, this is the way it works. Winning coaches seem to be happy, and losing coaches are often sad or angry. Jim Harbaugh was angry after that Ohio State loss because he felt you took something from us. You took it from us. We were better than you. Greg Popovich was angry. He was angry the next day when Kawhi Leonard hurt his ankle. We could have won this series. You took something from us. But after the game at the podium last night, Tyronn Lue is the coach of the Cavaliers, and he was not angry. In fact, at some points he was smiling. What was he saying to you? What was he saying to me? What was he saying to us? It was the exact same look Brad Stevens had for the Celtics during the Cleveland series. You know what that look is? That look is media. It doesn't matter. We're outmanned. That's the look. No coach for LeBron since that first finals against San Antonio's had that look. Tyronn Lue never had that look in the Eastern Conference playoffs this year last. He never had that look in the finals last year. Tyronn Lue as the Brad Stevens look. The sort of, guys, you're watching the same thing I am. They're a little deeper, a little younger, a little longer, a little more athletic, and we don't have the peeps to match up with Durant. We're having a hard enough time stalking Steph and Clay and Draymond and Iguodala and Zaza. We don't have the pieces. Brad Stevens was never angry in the Boston series because Brad Stevens knew the truth. We don't have an answer for LeBron. We don't have an answer for their people. That's what I see from Tyronn Lue. That Tyronn Lue knows after two games, listen, it's not us. It's them. Damn, they're good. And we don't have an answer. That's what I saw after the game last night. And I see it rarely, but you do see it. I remember years ago, Alabama played Notre Dame in the national title. Do you remember that? And they interviewed Brian Kelly at half. And they were down like 35-0. And Brian Kelly wasn't angry. Brian Kelly knew. They got 27 NFL players. We got 3. Manti Te'o's our best. He may not start for them. When the coaches give you the smile after a loss or in the middle of a game they're getting trounced, that smile is confirmation that they're seeing what you're seeing. Golden State's an all-timer. Deeper, longer, younger, more athletic, better defensively, better bench. I thought Cleveland bench would match up well. It doesn't. It doesn't. I was wrong on that one. I think I'm right on this one. The second image I saw was in the game. So let's talk about the image in the game. And this image I've now seen for 2 games. You realize what I'm about to say, and you know it is true even if you hate LeBron. He's played well. He had a triple-double last night. LeBron's numbers last night were really good. But ask yourself this. Have you ever watched, because LeBron's been a magnet to our eyes, even in series against the Celtics he didn't win, even in series that he won but others played well, LeBron's a magnet for our eyes. He jumps off the television. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's more powerful. Have you noticed something in the first 2 games of this series? LeBron's having a great series, and he is disappearing into the blizzard of Golden State. That my eyes, as much as I like LeBron, they're not drawn to him in this series. They're drawn to Durant and Steph and Clay and Draymond and 9 to 10 guys up the court, up the floor, no pause, hurry up, get a three, spacing perfect, pass to the guy, smart basketball. I've never watched the LeBron series in which his numbers are great and he's disappearing. I'm struggling to find him on the floor. Where is he at? Oh, he's trailing on the break. Oh, he's on the other side of the floor where the ball is. That's what great teams do. They space. They make great players less dominant. I mean, LeBron's putting the numbers up. And there have been times last night I am so drawn to Steph and so drawn to Clay and so drawn to their crowd and so drawn to their offense and so drawn to their length and so drawn to their defense and athleticism. LeBron's not the first thing my eyes gravitate to. That's brand new. And that leads me to my second rant. That for the last 10 to 12 years, what did LeBron get in his first final, like 2006 or something like that? Last 10 years, LeBron has not only been the best player in the NBA, he's been the talking point of the NBA. I mean, the biggest complaint I get during the NBA season is, Colin, God, you can't stop talking about LeBron. You're right, I do, because he pays me back. Digitally, television, podcasting, people like talking about him. Generally, every LeBron finals, inevitably, Michael Jordan against LeBron, greatest of all time. That's what we talk about. No, that's not what we're going to talk about here. These finals are about Golden State being the best team in the history of basketball. Oh, I know, it's not possible. I'm wearing my high school Letterman jacket. All the old teams were better. No, they weren't, dude. Don't listen to old people who tell you the NBA used to be better. The NBA is more global than ever, meaning we're getting the world's best players, not just New York's, Dallas's, Detroit's. We're getting the best high school, college, academy players in the world. It's happening to baseball, too, and soccer. They're better. The pool's bigger. I mean, if you try to hire somebody for a job and you just try to hire in the hometown, or you hire from a net that's global, where do you think you get the better candidates? I'm not telling you something you don't know. We have a sponsor, ZipRecruiter. That's their whole pitch. Bigger the net, the better the employee. We have a global game now. We have a global game. There has never been a time in the NBA where this many guys, 6'8" and over, can not only bring the ball up, they can pass and shoot. The best team Michael Jordan ever faced in the finals was Utah. I was looking at their roster today. How many guys on that team could bring the ball up the floor? How many guys could lead the break? 2, 3. It's a different game. Darn right it is. It's a better game. It's more skilled. It used to be in my world of media, you were a play-by-play guy or a columnist. Now columnists do TV, radio, podcasts. They're more skilled. They've had to adapt in the current environment. You can't just be singular. I just write. Bye-bye. Don't do TV and radio? We'll hire the guy that can, or the woman. Basketball today has changed. You can have a back-to-the-back center, but Blake Griffin, as talented as he is, if he's on the open market, most people aren't interested. What they want is that 7-footer who can shoot jumpers, or LeBron who's 6'9" and can do virtually everything. The world's changed. We are looking at the most skilled group of NBA players we've ever had. The Knicks and Pacers, Colin, combined had 13 guys you wouldn't trust to bring the ball up the floor or shoot a 17-footer. And Golden State is not just better than the second-best team. They look a lot better. And if you take out Zaza and JaVale McGee, they have 9 to 10 to 11 players who you would trust shooting a jumper. We've never had that before. I know the past used to be way better. It wasn't. Medicine wasn't as good. Travel wasn't as good. Hotels weren't as good. Schools weren't as good. Research wasn't as good. You just keep grabbing onto the 70s and 80s. Silicon Valley's the new Wall Street. Wall Street's not the new Silicon Valley. What you're seeing with the Warriors now, there's nothing like it. And I've covered this league and watched it for 40 years. This is incredible. This is wow. And I thought Cleveland, and I still think Cleveland's going to win a game. I still think Cleveland's going to be tough. You start adding up the pieces here. This was a record-setting team, and they added maybe the second-best player in the league. I know you don't like it. I mean, Steve Kerr has been around this game for 30 years. Here was Steve Kerr's observation last night, and it's the same one that I had watching the game.
The talent on the floor in this series is just unbelievable. Obviously with Steph and KD and Clay and Draymond, but trying to stop LeBron and Kyrie. Kevin Love was tremendous tonight. It really is a series that's just loaded with high-powered weapons all over the floor.
Cleveland's got 3 Hall of Famers. They're not competitive. Why do we fight Tiger being the all-time, LeBron being the all-time? Why do we fight UConn women, Alabama? Let's just enjoy this. Let's stop looking in the rearview mirror. Through 2 games, this is why I love sports. You make predictions, but then you watch these 2 on the floor. Right now, the talking point going forward in this league, and it's okay. It's been LeBron for 12 years. If Golden State wins this thing in 4, or I think Cleveland's going to win a game here, but if they win it in 5, it ain't about LeBron. That's the best basketball team professionally I've ever seen. They've lost 1 game since March. Michael Jordan was pushed to 6 games by Indiana teams that never won a final. New York teams with 1 shooter. They've lost a game. 1 since March.